Good evening, everyone. Welcome to City of Greenfield City Council member meeting, December the 9th. Call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor White,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Rodriguez, Councilmember Ortiz,
Here.
Councilmember Jones, Councilmember Garcia.
Here.
All right, excuse council member absences. This agenda item allows the city council to excuse the absences of council members not present at this meeting. If all council members are present, this agenda item will be skipped. Any public comments regarding the council member absences? Seeing none, I'll move it to city council comments and action.
Accept, motion, accept, what do we do?
I need a motion if you want to excuse or.
We excuse, motion to excuse?
Need a second. Been moved in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Absences are excused. At this point, I want to welcome Paul Mugen's family, Leslie and Brady. Thank you for coming tonight. This meeting's being held in Paul's honor. For those of you that don't know, Paul passed away November 25th and had been with us for many, many years. So tonight's meeting is dedicated to Paul.
Is your microphone on?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
All right. At this point, I'd like to ask Pastor Ramiro Lugo to come up for the invocation. Is he here? He is not. He's not, okay. Then I would like to ask a moment of silence for Paul. All right. Tonight, we need to stand for the pledge, but tonight we have a person who's been with the City of Greenfield. Ann has been with us for 40 years and for the City of Greenfield. Congratulations, Ann. That's an outstanding performance there. I can't believe 40 years has passed that quickly. So thank you for all your service to the City of Greenfield. Will you all please stand, and Ann, will you lead us in the pledge? Right. Agenda review.
No changes, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Public comments from the audience regarding items not on the agenda. This portion of the agenda allows an individual the opportunity to address the council on any items not on closed session, consent calendar, public hearings, and city council business. Under state regulations, no action can be taken on non-agenda items, including issues raised under this agenda item. Members of the public should be aware of this when addressing city council when items are not specifically referenced on this agenda. At this point, too, we are going to open it up for anybody that would like to say anything regarding Paul. So I will go ahead and open up public comments.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the American Legion, so I didn't get to know Paul, but on behalf of the American Legion, he is a veteran. We will present him with the wreath that we purchased for him, for the family. When you guys are done, you guys can take the wreath, and it's our honor as veterans to present it for you guys. So this is an honor for Paul. From us, veterans, most of them here are Army, so that. What do you mean by that? Thank you. Mr. Mayor, that's all we got from the American Legion. Thank you for letting us present this for family, and it's our honor.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, Stephanie Garcia. I just want to pass along my condolences. I worked with your dad and your husband on the Planning Commission, and prior to that, he was always very passionate about Greenfield and where we were as a city, and we had a lot of conversations about the direction of the city, and I was proud to know him. He was a good man. I'm sorry.
Good evening. My name is Cynthia Zavala, and I'm also on the Planning Commission, and I worked with Paul Mugen for about 4 years, and very respected man, always there, a phone call away, a text message away, and he will truly be missed, and I'm sorry for your loss.
Good evening. I met Paul about 10 years ago when I was working for the DA's office, and we just kind of hit it off. So when I came to Greenfield, naturally, we just kind of continued our conversations and got to know each other better. And for everybody here that didn't know, Paul was in the Air Force, and he did some amazing intelligence work, reviewing photographs from the SR-71, you know, a lot of stuff that was happening during the Cold War. So he was a very instrumental part in the nation and the security of the nation. He's got some wonderful pictures of Ronald Reagan, some other dignitaries and heads of state throughout the United States. So he had such a deep and rich history. And I miss him, and I will miss him. And I just can't imagine what you're going through. But he was loved, and we're always going to remember him. So thank you.
Hi, good evening. I'm Jamie. I'm the Public Works Director here. And number one, I'm very sorry for your loss. I'm going to cry. When I started here 3.5 years ago, Paul was off studying for the bar. And he sent me an email when I started and gave me a cell phone number and said, I would love to talk to you. Please give me a call. And that's something that I've never forgotten. He didn't need to take that time to introduce me to some of the community development items that were going on and tell me all about how excited he was to take the bar. Now, we didn't always see eye to eye, right, Paul? Public Works and Community Development, but we ended up figuring it out. And in the last 6 to 8 months, Paul and I became very good friends. And he had a love for very old books, which I know you know. And I learned a lot about our history in America that I did not know from Paul, plus all that community development stuff. But we had a bond over a book, and he had never read it. We would just open a page and laugh at some of the congressional antics that were going on in the 1800s because it was script, and we could not believe it. And that is something I will cherish forever. And my thoughts are with you through this difficult time. Thank you.
Anyone else in chambers? I do see one hand raised for, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
My name is Kathy Franchoni, and I represent RCT Land Company, and we annexed property into the city of Greenfield in 2018. My husband and father were instrumental after that in helping us go forward with some of the planning for developing the land. He and I became pretty close because of baseball. He sent me many little videos. So that was one thing that we really had in common and discussed a lot. He was also someone that, as Jamie said, you don't always agree with on everything, but he always wanted what was best for the city of Greenville. I do know that. And he had a high degree of integrity. So for me, it was sometimes difficult, but also we shared something in common, so it made me very close to my dad. And I'm so sorry because I saw him at the last city council meeting, so I'm very, very sorry for what happened and the timing of it. So I just wanted to let you know that. He was great.
Not really good at public speaking, but I am sincerely sorry for your loss. When I started in 2009, he had started recently as well at the city of Greenfield. So I knew him, and then he left, and he came back. I wasn't in his department, but yet we had our inside jokes, and I will miss that the most.
I do see one hand raised. Ann?
Beatriz Diaz.
Hi, good evening.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, hi. I just wanted to go ahead and send my condolences and prayers to Mr. Paul's family, and just let him know, that it's not easy when you lose somebody. I remember great memories from him. I know that at one time or another, when I had a question about some apartments, and when I first seen him, I was kind of afraid of him. But overall, he was very great in listening and pointing me to the right direction, And then he says, "Are you satisfied?" I said, "Of course." Yeah. But my condolences and prayers, for the family. Thank you. Another name? Oh, that's why we have a read.
Hello, good evening, City Council and public also, everyone. My condolences to you. I met Paul a few years later. I've been working here for a while. Good man, always smiling. I just want to share that with you. He was a really good man. You've been missed. And my condolences to you, okay? Thank you so much.
First off, my condolences. I work in the Community Engagement Department, and one of the programs that we oversee is the Greenfield Youth Council, which is all about civic engagement to the youth and teaching them how to be future leaders. We started this program back in 2023, where they come to do a summer fellowship during the summer. Paul was the first one to step up and be like, I want to meet with them. I actually shared a picture with our city manager of that first meeting of Paul, meeting with our youth leaders. He brought these big old, super big master plans, and he was all excited and teaching about all the work that he does. And ever since, he's been meeting with them every summer, so I'm really grateful. He was a big believer on the youth. I remember he was showing me the baseball that he had in his office and the story behind him, which I'm guessing you were part of those games in college. So my condolences again.
Hi, good evening. My name is Natalie and I work for the Community Development Department. I had just recently started working with Paul. I had been working with Paul for about 3 years before that, but just recently I had moved to that department and I was getting to know Paul and I was getting to work really closely with Paul. So when all this happened, it was really heartbreaking. And right before he left, he did also talk to us a lot about you and how he really wanted to go to your football games. So I'm really sorry for your loss.
All right, any further comments? If not, I'll move on and we'll move to comments from City Council.
Regarding Mr. Paul, some of you may have had a great opportunity to have known him for many years, and maybe some for just a few. I had less than a year with him, and in all those years that I've lived, which is a long time, very few people have spoken words that have been engraved into my heart and soul. And the Wednesday before, when we were having our Thanksgiving or our lunch here, he pulled me aside and he gave me some very specific moments that he remembered about what I said or did, and I was a little amazed that he would remember such specific things. And then he took me by my shoulders and he told me that he was very proud of me and that he charged me to continue, to be strong. And I looked at his eyes and I wondered why such, and he did it with delight. He just said, "You are amazing, you're great, you need to keep going. You know, I charge you with keep going." And I'm like, I will. and because of the specific things he remembered, one of the things is that he remembered that I wore a tie the day I took my oath, and he charged me, do that, keep doing that. It means so much, that symbol of respect. And he was just saying so many blessings that I felt God was just right there talking right through him and telling me things that have left an engraved message in my heart to keep going no matter what, that it's a good thing to serve even when it's hard. And he just embraced me with his watery eyes and this smile. I couldn't tell you if he was crying or laughing because he was just so passionate about what he was saying. I'll tell you, for a little guy, he is very powerful with his words and message. And I appreciate all that has been said today. And if I would like permission to come and give you a hug.
I wouldn't say a little Paul.
Not a little. Oh, little. Very tall Paul. Councilwoman Ortiz.
Good evening. I look over to the side now, and he's not there anymore. He always sat way over there at the end. So I'll make this very short and sweet because I'm a big crybaby when it comes to things like this. Paul and I, we butt heads a couple of times, but that's just the way we were, two stubborn people, both wanting to be right, but in the end, either he would apologize or I apologize. I was looking at the last email he sent me where he was saying how he valued what I had to say. That's important, you know, because sometimes we sit up here and we think, is anybody even listening to us? But he valued it. And he told me, anytime, you know, you want to talk to me, or even if it's a gripe, tell me, I want to know. And I'm going to cherish that email from Paul. And I'm sorry for your loss.
Paul was an integral part of the team here at the city as community and economic development director. Paul was a longtime city employee with over 12 years of service to the city of Greenfield. For those of you that don't know, he wore many hats while working here in Greenfield. Paul was instrumental in helping the city reach our regional housing number goal, one of the handful of cities in the state to do so. He was instrumental in that. In addition, he was in charge of overseeing the Planning Commission and keeping our projects all moving forward. Paul was also in charge of making sure our cannabis industry was in compliance with state law and keeping us lined up properly. For me personally, Paul always went out of his way to patiently answer any question I had regarding the many things that were happening around Greenfield. I've had many great, positive, productive conversations with Paul about the future of the city of Greenfield. So, Paul, you will be missed. Thank you very much for your service to the city of Greenfield and all our residents. Yeah, we can do that. Let's do a 10-minute recess here. All right?
For the people that I work with up here, that I serve with, that have shown up to many events, and it just, the people notice when we are there, and I appreciate the team that I work with. And thank you for the amazing Thanksgiving celebration. What's it called?
A day of thanks.
A day of thanks lunch, which started early and ended late. So we had a full day, and I had a blast with Mayor Bob White, and I got to do our little dance out there greeting people. So thank you for including me, people of Greenfield. Thank you for putting me here in this chair, and I hope to be here for a while. Thank you.
Right.
That's it.
Very good. Did you want to do
Your flowers.
Can I do that now?
Sure.
Oh, well, 40 years, you deserves like $1 million, but I don't have 40, but I have $40. So, and I hope you'll accept this as a token of the $40 million I think you deserve. This is for Anne. Let's applaud Anne.
Uh-oh.
Nice, thank you. All right.
That's it.
Very good. Do you have anything, Rachel? Or?
Hi, good evening. I just wanted to say something to the city staff. I've been getting so many calls regarding the parade. What an amazing job everybody did. I mean, just the police department, our public works, people putting it together. You guys all did an amazing job. People were really happy. There was a lot of entries, and it was just, I mean, I haven't seen that many people out in a long time. So it's really good. Shows that our community is really getting involved with the things that the city is putting together, so it's really important to us. Anne, oh my gosh, 40 years. Like I said earlier, I've never done anything for 40 years. I have no idea what that's like. But Anne and I go back a long way, long way before city, since we were very young in Soledad. And she keeps us in line, and she straightens us out when we need to be straightened out, and that's what we needed in her. So thank you, Anne, for everything you do. Thank you, Mayor.
Very good. I have a few items tonight. I'd like to congratulate and thank everyone who was involved with the holiday in the park and the parade. The parade just keeps getting bigger and bigger and better. So, so many people out. It was just fantastic. So, just want to announce the city's home decorating contest is still going on until December the 19th. 5 prizes of $100 each. Decorate the outside of your home and show your holiday spirit. My wife and I were out walking the other night and saw a family out looking at the decorations as we were, and it's nice to see the civic pride. The kids were just having a great time out looking at all the different blow-ups and all the different lights that were out. There's 2 holiday craft shows that are happening at the Memorial Hall Sunday, December the 14th, and again on the 21st. Find the perfect gift and support your local vendors. I was notified by the Mayor of Gonzales, Jose Rios, this morning. The Mexican consulate will be in Gonzales on Saturday from 8 o'clock to 1 for anyone who's needing help with documents for traveling to Mexico. It's the council chambers in Gonzales on 4th Street. And finally, this all help those in need. There is a coat drive happening here in Greenfield until December the 18th. There's a drop-off spots include City Hall, which is out in the foyer, the fire station, the Science Center, and Community Center at Patriot Park. So let's all look through that closet and see what we can find to help those in need. So thank you very much. We'll now move on to the consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered routine and may be approved by one action of the City Council unless a request for removal for discussion or explanation is received prior to the time council votes on the motion to adopt. Are there any public comments regarding the consent calendar? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council. Anything need to be pulled? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to accept.
I need a second.
Second.
Motion to accept. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. We will now move to mayor's presentations, proclamations, communications, and resolutions. We have a proclamation tonight, a well-deserved proclamation. A proclamation of the mayor and city council of the city of Greenfield commending and celebrating the outstanding efforts of our volunteers in support of the Day of Thanks. Whereas young people are a vital force in strengthening our community, selflessly giving their time and energy for the common good. And whereas the youth volunteers at A Day of Thanks have demonstrated an exemplary commitment to service by donating their time, thereby making a tangible difference in the lives of others. And whereas their dedication and passion for service exemplify the true meaning of civic pride and inspire fellow citizens of all ages to engage in volunteerism and community partnerships. And whereas their efforts in support of A Day of Thanks are crucial to our future as a caring and productive community. Now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Mayor Robert White, and the City Council on behalf of the City of Greenfield do hereby commend and celebrate the outstanding efforts of our young volunteers. The groups that were involved include the Fighting Bruins 246 Battalion. Give yourself a round of applause. Greenfield Youth Council. Greenfield 4-H. The King City Stangs. And Camellia. Council would like to present these along with some medals, so come on up. Let's start with the Fighting Bruins 246 Battalion. Please come on up. Greenfield Youth Council. Greenfield 4-H. King City Stings. And Camila, the youngest volunteer. And the rest of the volunteers. Dorothy, I think you're nominated to accept this.
Where did she go? Where did our council member Ortiz come back here?
Rachel, she can't hear.
Do you want to say something? Come here. Can you hear? I have so much appreciation for everything you've done and taught me how to be a servant here as a council member. And I hope I can be as great as you are. You've given so much. And so I just wanted to say, regarding the Day of Thanks community dinner, I was amazed at how many people you got there. 80, how many turkeys?
We had almost 100 turkeys.
83 turkeys, I don't know how many hams, and we served people 36 hams. And how many people did we serve that day? Close to 1,000, and we gave away so many more meals. So just a little token to say thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Sure, absolutely, go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you to everybody, all the volunteers, especially the kids. You know, people always say that they worry about, you know, what the future holds with the kids. And I have to say, here in Greenfield, I don't think we're gonna have a problem. You all are amazing, everything that you guys do. I don't know if you realize how important it is what you do when you volunteer for the Day of Thanks. It's not just about getting community hours or anything like that. You're giving back to the community. You're making a difference in people's lives. One of the things that I try to do after the event, last year I had certain thoughts, and this year I had, closing thoughts after the event. And I realized that, we are really quite a unique community, and we have a lot to be thankful for. And we'll be back next year, and I hope all of you guys will be back. There was 83 of you this year, and that's a lot. The youth is taking over this event, and honestly, I have no problem with that. So we do have a lot of changes that are going to be coming up this coming year, and you all are going to be a big part of it. So thank you very much. Also, I'd like to thank a couple of groups. The Madrecita Foundation, they do the deliveries to all the houseless and some of the seniors. We have the American Legion, the Heart of the Valley Chamber of Commerce, and all the kids that you saw here. We had a lot of donors that did amazing for us this year, and it's getting easier, but at the same time, it's getting a little harder. The amounts are growing. Our first year, we did a little over 600. This time, we did almost 1,000. So it's growing, and and I had a couple that I talked to prior to the event, probably about a week before, and they told me, well, we didn't go the year before because we thought it was only for people, who in need. And I said, no, this is a community event, it's a community dinner. It's time for us to get together as a community. So they were probably one of the first couples that walked in that day, and they stayed through the whole event. They stayed through the whole thing. That's what I'm trying to get across with this A Day of Thanks. It's just to bring the community together. So, and lastly, I want to thank Aaron Chavez. Aaron Chavez is the backbone of this. I mean, I shout out orders and he takes care of it for me. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Thank you, and next year will be better. Right?
Great job. Fantastic. All right, let's move on to. A video?
Yes.
Wow.
Mayor and City Council, I had a
Present the video.
presentation ready for you, but it seems like everything that I had prepared to say has already been said. So I think that it'd just be best to go ahead and showcase that slideshow. Luis, could you go ahead and help us play that slideshow? Thank you, City Council. Looking forward to next year.
Great job. Thank you very much.
I wanted to say one thing. I cannot tell you how fun it was to see Mayor and Councilmember Garcia standing at the door. Councilmember Garcia decided to turn her apron around. She wore it as a cape. So, not sure what that was all about, but they stood there for a little over 5 hours and greeted everybody who walked through the door. That's something that you just don't get everywhere, at other places. So thank you very much for what you did. And I forgot to thank our police department and our fire department. Thank you guys for doing the deliveries and making sure that everybody was safe.
That was my superhero cape. Okay? Okay.
Fitting, right? All right. Congratulations. The event couldn't have gone better, I don't think. So. All right. Let's move on with public business here. Let's hit the public hearing. This is a public hearing for the proposed approval of adopting a wastewater rate adjustment and capacity charges. I will now open the public hearing. City Clerk Rathman, did we receive any protest on this item?
The staff report will come first.
Oh, okay. Let's do staff report.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. My name is Tony Nisich. I'm the project engineer on this it seems like for a long time, but only 2017. Tonight is a public hearing to consider the adoption of the wastewater rate adjustments. The last several years, as you're aware, the city has identified that the existing wastewater treatment plant does not meet current standards and doesn't serve the community needs. Because of that, it was necessary to do some studies and figure out what needed to be done. That was done. One of the things that was identified was the need for additional resources to construct a new wastewater treatment plant. And that's why we're here to consider the rates. We, as you know, we did that several times, and our request for funding didn't go exactly as planned, but hopefully it's on track now. But this is part of that process to get us to the finish line. Note here. So tonight's meeting is the council members at your 24th meeting, you adopted a rate water study that recommended several options, and the council adopted option 2, which was the one that's on the agenda tonight, and started what's called the Prop 218 process, which requires various things. Most of all, it's complex because Prop 218, for those of you who know, is very complex. The particular section of Prop 218 that relates to this particular fee requires that we get a protest hearing, meaning everybody who's entitled to vote, which in this case is the property owners and rate payers or account holders, get a protest vote. And if the vote is, the protests are more than 50% plus 1, the rate cannot go forward. And if we don't, then we can go forward. So it's different in this particular type of rate. I wanted to point out that we did, based on the council's direction, we did do a considerable public outreach on this very event, preparing for it. There was a community engagement plan which was developed that resulted in a series of public meetings with the council. There's 3, as we recall, in addition to your adoption and consideration hearing on October 24th. But in addition to that, there was a substantial public outreach, included citywide door hangers on most of the account holders' houses in both English and Spanish that allowed you to scan a code and get to the city's website, which had additional information about this process and about the rate and the structure. There are also some additional material on the city's website that talks about the need for water conservation and good process for the treatment of wastewater and some other things you can do. So having done all that, and as we talked about, the process requires a balloting process. There The public has received the ballot, and we'll get a report in a little bit from the city clerk about how many we actually received in your council packet. As of last Friday, there was a report which talked about how many, and I think it was 66, if I recall, as of Friday afternoon, and you'll get an update today. With that, I just want to summarize that without getting into a lot of the detail, because I know you've heard it before, is that we wanted to make sure the public was really aware of what we were doing. It can be complex, the whole city accounting and what we're trying to do, and we really believe that this particular approach is the best approach for the city in general. We desperately need this facility, and we desperately need the funding as well. So this is gonna, it's not the solution in ultimate, but it's a major step along the way. As we've talked before, we also are also simultaneously considering grant funding from the state. This is a key component of that grant funding application. As a matter of fact, we meet regularly with the state. They ask, where is your Prop 218 process? And we told them this week, that'd be tonight. So with that, what we're asking the council tonight is obviously conduct a public hearing, listen to what people have to say. At the end, we'll ask if there are any formal protests, and to remind everybody those formal protests or ballots, if you will, must be received in writing, because the city clerk needs to validate that the address and or parcel number is correct, and the person who is signing the ballot is an authorized representative of that particular account or that particular property. And then we'll sum those up, and if the protest is not successful, excuse me, then the council will be able to adopt the resolution approving and implementing the rate structure, which is included in your agenda package. I'm sure I got it. I think that's it. I'd be happy to answer any questions the council may have.
Any questions from council?
No.
All right, very good. Thank you. At this point, we'll go ahead and do the public hearing. This is a public hearing for the proposed approval of adopting wastewater rate adjustments and capacity charges. I will now open the public hearing. City Clerk, Ratha, did we receive any protests on this item?
Yes, we did.
I would go ahead and call for public input. You'll have 3 minutes to go ahead and give us your protest. However, please note only sealed written requests will be considered in the counting. If there's a majority protest, a majority protest will exist at 50% plus one of the affected parcels provided in written protest. If you would like to provide a written ballot, please see the city clerk to obtain one. If anyone would like to speak, please come forward. And state your first name and last name for the record.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Carlos Ruiz Martínez. Quiero preguntar si hay personas que solamente hablan español para hacer mi presentación en español y traducirla yo mismo al inglés. ¿Todos hablan inglés?
Can we get the translator to come out, Paul?
I was just asking if there was anybody who only spoke Spanish.
Very good.
Because I wanted to honor that, and also I could do my own translation.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You got my name, Carlos Ruiz Martínez. So here we are again. The same, like 2 years ago, Bob, just you and two ladies, you know, when the other increase was proposed and adopted. And so the guys who wrote that proposal and worked all the numbers, they got paid, and they got paid well. But their numbers didn't work out. So here we are again. With those, that proposal, we were going to get an increase of up to 85% in 5 years, which will be from 23 to 28. Now with these other numbers, it's gonna be from 26 to 30. And it's gonna be increasing our costs more than 100%. There's a lot of people on fixed income, myself included, Social Security, SSI. we only get 3.5% increase per year. SSI notified me, I got the letter yesterday, they are giving me an increase in SSI of $1. There are some issues in these. I think it's pretty much common sense, knowledge, that if you ask people and you can approach them the way you guys approach them, when there's an election coming up, making your proposals and asking for the vote. You can walk, a few weekends, a couple of weekends, and ask the people how they're doing economically. How is this increase going to affect them? Instead of doing like a trick kind of thing about the 50% plus 1. Besides, there's a great number in our community of tenants that Spanish is their second language. No English at all. Mixteco or Mixtec, tricky, so they are not even able to participate.
Mr. Martinez, if I could ask you to kind of wrap it up for me, please. You had your 3 minutes.
I don't think there is a lot of people, Bob. I was helping a lady, that's why I borrowed your pen to fill out the form. She came to me and said, can you help me? I say, okay. And she said, I read Spanish and I write Spanish a little bit, but I don't understand. I say, okay. So I borrowed the pen. She could not answer the first question about the parcel, APN. And I couldn't even find it myself. First, I wrote in mine my account number. Then I asked my sister, hey, where did you get the parcel number? And she told me I got an old stuff from the taxes. I said, okay, because I got the new one. And nowhere here can you find parcel. So you're asking for something that is almost impossible for people to comply with. And I know because I call some of my cousins and friends, some say, oh, just throw it to the garbage. They're gonna do whatever they want anyway. Upset. And so that might be like a legal issue, because I can show you this. She can make a copy. There's no way in this document that you can find a parcel number. They don't use that anymore. They use assessment number, which is the same as the next line below, fee number. I think it's enough just with the address. I look in the water bill, there's no parcel number in there either. That lady that I helped her fill out, she didn't even know her landlord name, the owner name. So I say, you don't know? I say, no, he just comes and gets the rent and leaves. I say, okay. So I don't know if even her form is gonna count. There's no parcel number written. She didn't have anything. I told her, do you have the stuff from when you pay your water? She said, no, I don't have it. So what I'm saying is, you're members of this community. We live in this community. You can explain to the people, explain to us, clearly with transparency. Hey, this is what is happening. Those guys that worked the numbers before, they didn't do a good job. Now, hopefully with this, we can work it out. But if you get what you are requesting, because based on the state requirement of 50% plus 1, that says no, which I doubt it, because by the way you're asking the questions, it's like making it hard for people. And with, in the time of the year, dealing with what is going on with ICE, the economy. Then we had Thanksgiving. Then Christmas, so people worry, is Santa gonna have a little money for a gift? And then this increase. You know, well, I know you for a good bunch of years. I know you've been, you know, active in your real estate business. And with all due respect, because I'm just right behind you, maybe by a few days or months. But, you know, just with all due respect, you know, maybe you should just consider, you know, being successful in dealing with your business. I don't think anybody is going to feel bad, you know, if you resign and you just focus on that, because being a major is a lot of responsibility too. And you're not that young anymore. We are not that young anymore. So I hope you guys postpone this, don't approve it, look more into it, because here comes that legal issue. You are asking for something that is very hard for people to comply with.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your comments.
I wish I could hear, you know, some feedback from you guys, because I don't know what's in your mind. You know, we're a community. We live in this town.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Gabby, and I just want to request that you guys postpone this sewer rate increases. And the reason is the proposed sewer rate increases are based on water usage calculations, yet the city's water meter system is currently unreliable. Many meters are not functioning properly, and in other cases, readings appear inconsistent or inaccurate. Until the city can verify that our water meters are working properly and that staff readings are accurate, it is unreasonable and unfair to base sewer rates on this data. Residents should only be billed for the water they actually use, not more, not less. At this time, the current system does not ensure that. For example, my family's property has been vacant for 3 months, yet the water bill continues to show usage level consistent with an occupied home. This clearly indicates either a meter malfunction or inaccurate meter reading by the staff. Situations like this undermine public trust and demonstrate that the city is not ready to adopt sewer rates tied to water usage. My family has also requested from the city staff to review the bill, and they've just been giving the runaround, not clear answers. And if the city staff is unable to provide the answers they need, can you guys please direct us to who we can request help from? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Good day, City Council. My name is Laura, and I also believe that we should not pass this vote for the rates to increase. There's no full transparency. We see our bills and our water meters, the numbers there don't match. We have asked for staff to talk to and provide us a meeting with my sister Fabiola, and there is lack of communication. So if you guys can do this and represent us, who do we go to? We have a community, low-income community, so they're not going to be able to afford this. Where are they going to go to after? I think there needs to be a better proposal for these rates to be paid, not from residents, but somewhere else. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Council, will you guide me through this a little bit? Just
Yes, so now you'll ask the city clerk the number of protests received. And then after that, really, it's the same as any public hearing.
okay. Do you have the number of protest votes?
We received 148.
114?
48.
I'm sorry, 148. All right. The threshold has not been met, correct? Since the written protest did not meet the statutory required threshold, we will proceed with the resolution to approve the process. So I will entertain a motion on item K1.
Motion to accept adopt the resolution.
Need a second? Been moved in second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. We'll move to L1, a resolution of City Council, City of Greenfield adopting the city's cross-connection control plan and authorize staff to submit the plan to the State Water Resources Control Board. Staff report, please.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Let me pull this up here real quick. Okay, so California has a cross-connection control requirement. I'm going to go over a few of those items so you have an understanding of what this plan is for. California law requires public water systems to protect drinking water from contamination caused by actual or potential connections between potable and non-potable water sources. Cross-connection control programs are mandated under the California Code of Regulations, Title 17, which establishes minimum standards for cross-connection prevention. Health and Safety Code Section 116,800, which authorizes the State Water Resources Control Board to regulate public water systems and enforce backflow protection standards. And public water system permitting requirements administered by the State Water Resources Control Board, Division of Drinking Water. Title 17 specifically requires water suppliers to implement a cross-connection control program in order to identify potential cross-connection hazards, require installation, testing, and maintenance of approved backflow prevention assemblies, maintain a certified backflow tester program, and conduct periodic surveys of commercial, industrial, institutional, and high-risk residential properties. To demonstrate compliance, water suppliers must prepare and maintain a cross-connection control plan that outlines the city's policies, procedures, testing schedules, enforcement tools, record-keeping systems, and staff responsibilities. The Water Board periodically reviews these plans as a part of routine sanitary survey and regulatory oversight. So the city's cross-connection control plan has been developed, and it's very comprehensive, and it aligns with the state of California requirements and industry best practices. The city's plan includes an inventory of backflow prevention devices within the city's water system, procedures for service renewals, hazard classifications, and required backflow protection, annual testing requirements and coordination with certified backflow testers, enforcement actions for noncompliance, staff training and documentation protocols, procedures for responding to backflow incidents or water quality concerns. Adoption of the cross-connection control plan ensures that the city remains in full compliance with Title 17, supports the protection of public health, and demonstrates to the State Water Board that the city maintains an active and enforceable cross-connection control plan. And we do have that document attached to the staff report. Adoption of, for the budget and financial impact, adoption of the cross-connection control plan does not in itself create a direct fiscal impact. Implementation of this plan is supported by existing water division operations and backflow device testing fees paid by property owners, and also in the existing budget. And any future costs associated with the program enhancements will be included into our future budget proposals. And we do have staff that is going to be testing for their certification this month as well. And so we'll be able to test all of our in-house backflow devices on our own.
Great.
Any questions or comments?
Let me go ahead and open up for public comments on this item. Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council for comments or questions.
Yeah, I need some help on this. Cross connection, is that related in any way to that letter that we received regarding the lead in the water?
No, they're
That's-
two separate
Okay.
tracks.
So what is this cross connection, like connected from where to where?
So what it is you'll see these devices like in the front of businesses. They look like an upside down U.
Okay, yes. I've
So
seen
that's a
that.
backflow device. And so when the water is distributed through the city's system and then goes to the property, we want to make sure that there's no siphonage going backwards.
Okay.
So once that water goes through that device and it's been tested and it passed, which means that that device is working, there is no chance of that water going backwards into the city system where there could be contaminants from private water services of any material. Or even holes, penetrations and things like that. And so that's where we want to protect the distribution system on the city side, so that no contaminants go back into the water system that can be distributed to other residents or businesses and cause issues.
Similar to like motorhomes, that when we go park and we connect, there's certain things that the motorhomes have to have, so the water goes in, but it can't come back out into the.
Very similar.
Got it. Thank you. That's all I have.
The backflow device, the testing is paid for by the owner of the properties, correct?
Yes, so our backflow program, we do send out letters annually to remind property owners that they do have to do their backflow testing. They are required once a year to do the testing. If the test comes back and does not pass, they do have to repair that and have it retested again.
Okay.
It also goes for the same with the city devices as well.
Okay. So what we're planning on doing in the future, though, with the city devices is test our own and make sure that we're.
That is correct.
Okay. Not contaminating our own system, correct? All right.
Correct.
Any other questions?
Nope, that's all I have.
I entertain a motion on L1.
Move to approve.
Have a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. L2, a resolution, City Council, City of Greenfield authorizing a subdivision improvement agreement with the owners of the Apple Avenue Homes subdivision for public improvements necessary to facilitate acceptance of street and landscape easements. Staff report, please.
Good evening again. I'm going to sit up here for the rest of the meeting, I think. The 34-unit single-family home development project, commonly referred to as Apple Avenue Homes, is located on or at 296 Apple Avenue in the city of Greenfield. The developer, People's Self-Help Housing, a California corporation, is working cooperatively with the city to complete and record the final map, which includes public improvements. These improvements are proposed to be annexed into special maintenance districts established by the city and accepted by the city for performance of ongoing maintenance. The purpose of this staff report is to recommend that the City Council approve a subdivision improvement agreement with the developer that assures facilities proposed to be built and assumed for maintenance by Special Maintenance Assessment District are improved according to reviewed and accepted permitted plans prior to the first occupancy of an approved residential structure in that subdivision. This agreement considers and accommodates a schedule for required bonding with improvements which will be delayed as a result of the building moratorium once it goes into effect, consistent with the city's ordinance number 575. The budget and financial impact. Currently, there is no budget or financial impact as a part of the approval of this proposed agreement. Costs and fees are being borne by the developer. Questions, comments?
I'll go ahead and open up L2 for public comment.
Good evening, Mayor White, council members, staff, community, McGann family. Emily Baranek with People's Self-Help Housing here this evening, really just to say thank you to staff for getting us to council before the end of the year, which was imperative for a number of our milestone requirements for funding, as well as to answer any questions you might have on our project or our self-help ownership program. But I also want to just express really quick, if I can, how grateful I am personally to be here this evening. This was an incredible meeting to have been part of, and also to get the opportunity to express our condolences to Paul's family. I didn't get to know him very well. I only met him, over the computer a couple times. But it was great to have him part of the team, and we really appreciated his time and effort and dedication, which is so evident of this community after tonight. Standing room only with volunteers is incredible. So I'm here for questions, but really I'm here to thank you. That was great.
Great. Thank you very much. Any questions from staff? From council?
Thank you for everything that you're doing for our city and our people. Thank you.
Thank you.
My only question is, are we going to create a new district, or are we going to add it to one of the existing ones?
An existing district.
Existing district, okay. Any other questions?
Is it my district?
The lighting and landscaping district, or an improvement district. All right, city council comments? Any other questions?
No.
I'll entertain a motion on L2.
Motion to adopt.
Need a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. L3, a resolution of the City Council, City of Greenfield approving the final map for the subdivision located on the property at 296 Apple Avenue. Staff report, please.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I am presenting this staff report on behalf of Community Development, and actually Mr. Mugen, his name is on this staff report. And he worked countless hours over the years for this project, and so I just wanted to recognize that I'm here for him in his capacity right now. And, okay, gather myself. So the applicant, People's Self-Help Housing, is requesting a final map to officially subdivide and build 34 detached single-family homes and related infrastructure on an existing 4.55 acre parcel located at 296 Apple Avenue. This is the same location as the staff report previous for the improvement agreement. The project site is located at the northeast corner of 3rd and Apple Avenue. The property is zoned multifamily residential. The project includes a detention basin, and City Council previously held public hearings on this project, and the tentative map for this project was approved by the City Council on January 23rd, 2024. The requirement for final maps are set forth in the California Government Code Subdivision Map Act and Chapter 16.24 of the Greenfield Municipal Code. Section 16.24.070 of the Municipal Code establishes that City Council has the final approving authority for final subdivision maps. The City Council shall approve the final map if it conforms to all the requirements of the Subdivision Map Act, all the requirements of Title 16 of the Greenfield Municipal Code, and all the requirements of approval or conditional approval of the tentative map. If the final map does not conform to those requirements, the City Council shall disapprove the final map. A little bit of background is the Community Development Director and the City Engineer and City Surveyor have reviewed the attached final map. The subdivisions shown on the final map is substantially the same as appeared on the vested tentative map approved by City Council in January of 2024. This final map is technically correct and complies with all requirements of the Subdivision Map Act, all the requirements of Title 16 and the Greenfield Municipal Code, and the tentative map conditions of approval. As a prerequisite for approval of the final map, the applicant was required to complete a subdivision improvement agreement, which was just approved by council, post bonds for the public improvements, and meet a number of project conditions. This final map dedicates New Street to be named Cardona Drive, Almond Street, and Lupin Lane, or Lupine, I'm actually not sure. In addition, portions of right-of-way on 3rd Street and Apple Avenue will be dedicated to the City of Greenfield for public road purposes and easements for public utilities on, over, and under those certain strips of land designated as public utility easements, as shown on the final map. As this project moves through the subsequent planning and development process, it will be the responsibility of the planning director, that's Paul now, to ensure all conditions of approval of the vested tentative map continue to be satisfied. So the development of the proposed self-help housing at 296 Apple Avenue has been previously reviewed and approved by both the Planning Commission and the City Council. Again, the vesting tentative tract map was approved by Council in January of 2024, and the proposed final map does conform to all the requirements of the Subdivision Map Act, Title 16 of the Greenfield Municipal Code, and the required conditions of approval. And the City Council should therefore adopt the proposed motion approving the final map.
All right. I will open up for public comments on L3. Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council.
No comments?
Nothing? All right. So the map, the vested tentative map, this map is very much the same, a few minor changes.
That is correct.
Correct, okay. Now that they have this, they should be able to move forward with their project, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Good.
I'll entertain a motion on L3.
Move to approve.
Second?
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We're down to brief reports on conferences, seminars, and meetings attended by mayor and city council. League of California Cities. Nothing going on, right? Transportation Agency for Monterey County.
We had a meeting on the 3rd, and we went over employee evaluations. We talked about real property that they own, TAMSI owns, and what we're going to do with it, and any changes to that. We did talk about something that was really interesting, but it was kind of way over my head. And I'm going to read it to you. It says, we were talking about electronic vehicle takeoff and landing, EVTOL, Integrated Pilot Program Application. Yeah.
Possibly.
I have no idea.
Oh, I've seen
Well,
those.
it has to do with the program that they have over there, Marina, those flying.
The drones.
The drones, yeah, that's what it was about.
All right. Association Monterey Bay Area Governments, there's no meeting until January. I reported on the last one. Salinas Valley Solid Waste Authority.
We will meet on later this month.
Monterey Salinas Transit.
Absent.
Yeah, absent. South Salinas Valley Broadband Authority.
Absent.
Oh, and that meeting that was scheduled for this week was canceled.
Canceled, right?
Yeah, and we'll have another one, we'll have the next meeting in January.
All right. Monterey County Mayors Association, we are meeting Friday in Monterey. There's a roundtable about any concerns that the mayors can agree to talk about, so that's coming up. Let's see, Salinas Valley Mayors Managers Group, we met November 24th in Salinas at the airport. We heard about the history of the Salinas Airport, how it was a training site for pilots during World War II, and then turned over to civilian use after the war. One significant thing that came out for South County is the fact that Salinas Airport is home to CalStar, which is the air ambulance for South Monterey County area. Let's see. Also, the mayors discussed recording a public service announcement regarding distracted driving, distracted walking, and motorized scooter use, especially with it getting dark earlier. So remember to be careful out there. I think they're still working on details on that. I talked to Mary Donahue just the other day on that.
And I think the youth councils that were represented here today also were getting together all up and down the valley to do social media posts with their cohorts in the schools themselves to talk mostly about distracted walking. And so that's going to hopefully be part of this whole thing.
Looking at your phones, that's a problem
That's exactly
everywhere,
right.
wherever you're at.
That's one of the things that we discussed at CAMSI also, was the distracted driving, because of Mayor Donahue was there and just had another fatality last night in
I
Salinas.
saw that on the
Another one.
KSBW.
And this
Yep.
is multiple during the week. We're probably averaging about 2 a week right now
Wow.
in Salinas.
Be careful. Planning Commission.
It was canceled earlier this month.
All right. City Attorney report.
Good evening, Mayor White and City Council. I did want to provide an update on a couple of laws that will become effective January 1st, that will impact either city council meetings or the city council. These are minor changes, so nothing to worry about. SB 707 impacts or changes the Brown Act. There are significant changes for cities over 30,000 population, but because Greenfield is less than 30,000, there's just minor changes. There's some changes to the teleconferencing options, so the just cause and emergency circumstances provisions that we've talked about in the past have gotten a little simpler, so that's nice. They're a little bit, they're more the same. They used to be 2 separate exceptions, and now they're a little bit more similar. There's also now a teleconferencing as a reasonable accommodation for a disability option. So this was kind of something that was a conflict in the law up until this change, where the ADA, the federal law, said that council members are entitled to reasonable accommodations if they can't attend a meeting, whereas the Brown Act didn't. So now that's been resolved in the Brown Act. There's also additional protections for city councils to, when it comes to removing disruptive participants from a meeting. We haven't experienced that here, but in some cities this is a real problem. So there's already some language in the Brown Act that allows the mayor or whoever's chairing the meeting to remove disruptive participants, and now that's been extended to include disruptions via Zoom. So if you've heard about Zoom bombing, this will help with that. And then the last piece that will impact the city here is that the city council or elected bodies are required to receive a copy of the Brown Act each year from the city. The other law I wanted to highlight is SB 827, and this one is some new mandatory training. So it aligns with the ethics training that you already receive every other year, but this is mandatory fiscal training, and the purpose is to promote accountability and to prevent mismanagement. And it's required of officials, and that includes department heads and some other city employees. So it's not just the elected board, but also some certain city employees. And so what it is 2 hours of fiscal training biannually, covering budgeting, contracting, procurement, and fiduciary duties. So it would be something that was either combined with or near the time of your biannual ethics training. And that also, in addition, starting in July 1st, AB 827 will require local agencies to post on their website instructions for the public who would like to know, who would like to request ethics training records. So each time you take ethics training, you receive a certificate. So now there will be an option on the city website for people to request a copy of your certificate to know that you took your training.
Actually did the training.
So that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much. City Manager report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted my comments to be focused towards the Mugen family, Leslie Brady, and Michael, who's not here. I hired Paul Mugen back. He had been here before, and I've heard all the stories of what went on then and what's happening now. And I hope, it's impossible to ignore the outpouring of this community for him. He has had a huge impact on many, many things here. You heard the employees, you heard people that he's dealt with. It's a testament to Paul and how he has gone through getting things done in a very difficult job that he had. And it's also a huge testament to this community that this love exists. This is not a normal community. I've worked in a number of them, and I know Paul did too. This is not normal. And we're okay with that, because if there was too many people who wanted to move here, I think it would change. So this is good the way it is. Paul, I have 2 older sisters, so I was the little brother. And I've never had a brother, always wanted one, and Paul was the closest thing that I've had to that. We would sit and laugh about the situations we were in. We criticized the people that we felt needed to be criticized. We fought. We've had yelling matches in our, and don't laugh. But you know what? You do that because you trust each other. You do it because you know what? This is going to get inflamed to whatever it gets inflamed to. And then he's going to come back in and he's going to apologize to me or vice versa. And it was like, you didn't, yes, tempers went up, but you didn't have to worry about it. And that's also this community. We've heard some tough words today, and we're going to keep moving. And Paul is going to be missed desperately. So there is a St. Angela's Church next Tuesday, the 16th, a mass for him at 10:30. I'm not sure if things are going on after that, but
Reception right at the church, right?
a second.
A little reception right
A reception right after that. So I hope people that are watching this that knew Paul feel free, and I'm sure it'll be a wonderful, wonderful event. So thank you very much. That's all I've got.
All right, thank you. So I will close the meeting in the name of Paul Mugen. Thank you for all you did for the city of Greenfield. Meeting's adjourned.